Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that all porn websites have completely disappeared from the internet. Not blocked, not filtered, not hidden behind restrictions, but truly gone, as if they never existed in the first place. No history, no traces, no replacements. At first, it might sound unrealistic or even impossible, but let's pause for a moment and seriously imagine it. What kind of world would we be living in? How would our daily lives change? Which problems would slowly fade away, and what new challenges would suddenly appear? For years, adult websites have been one of the most visited parts of the internet. Their influence goes beyond entertainment. A huge portion of global internet traffic flows through these platforms every single day. If they vanished overnight, one of the first noticeable changes would be how people use the internet itself. Many users who were used to spending long hours consuming this content would suddenly find themselves with empty time, time that needs to be filled with something else. Some people might turn to social media even more than before. Others might explore online education, digital skills, gaming, or creative platforms. There's also the possibility that people would slowly move toward more real-world interactions, hobbies, and face-to-face relationships. In this sense, the internet could become a space focused more on learning, communication, and creativity rather than pure consumption. But perhaps the most important changes would happen beneath the surface, in people's minds and emotional lives. Many psychologists and researchers argue that excessive exposure to adult content can affect how individuals view relationships, intimacy, and even themselves. It can create unrealistic expectations, distort perceptions of the human body, reduce self-esteem, and in some cases, lead to compulsive behavior. In a world without porn websites, some of these pressures might gradually decrease. People could begin forming emotional and romantic connections with fewer comparisons and less unrealistic imagery influencing them. Relationships might feel more authentic, more grounded in real emotions rather than digital fantasies. Over time, this could lead to healthier communication between partners and a more balanced understanding of intimacy. However, this imagined world is not free of risks or complications. When something that millions of people want suddenly disappears, human behavior doesn't simply adapt in a perfect way. History has shown us that prohibition often creates underground alternatives. Without regulated and visible platforms, some individuals would likely search for illegal or hidden sources. These underground spaces are far more dangerous as they lack rules, safety standards, and legal protection. In many cases, they expose users, and especially vulnerable individuals, to exploitation and serious harm. Economically, the impact would be enormous. The adult content industry generates billions of dollars each year and supports a wide network of jobs. Performers, video editors, writers, web developers, designers, cybersecurity experts, payment processors, and advertisers all depend on this ecosystem. Removing it overnight would leave millions without income. While many of these workers could eventually transition into other industries, the short-term effects would likely include unemployment, financial instability, and economic shock. Culturally, the disappearance of porn websites could force societies to confront an uncomfortable reality. In many parts of the world, proper sexual education is still lacking. For better or worse, many people turn to the internet to learn about their bodies, relationships, and sexuality. If adult websites were gone, individuals might be pushed toward books, scientific resources, professional counseling, and open conversations. This shift could lead to healthier and more accurate understanding only if education systems, families, and communities are prepared to fill that gap responsibly. For teenagers and young people, this change could be especially significant. Early exposure to explicit content often happens before emotional maturity develops. This can shape expectations, behavior, and self-image in harmful ways that last for years. A world without easy access to porn websites could protect younger minds and allow emotional growth to happen more naturally at the right pace. So the real question remains, would a world without porn websites actually be a better place? The answer is not simple, and it's certainly not black and white. Removing these platforms alone does not automatically fix deeper social, emotional, or psychological issues. If society fails to provide healthy alternatives for connection, education, and emotional support, the same problems will simply appear in different forms. But if this absence is accompanied by stronger education, open dialogue, emotional awareness, and healthier relationships, then such a world could represent the beginning of a meaningful transformation. In the end, a world without porn websites is not necessarily a perfect world, nor is it a broken one. It is simply a different world, and the future of that world depends entirely on how humans choose to understand their needs, manage their desires, and take responsibility for the kind of society they want to build.